here?
I mean, it literally sounds like it could just be like a sports stadium out there, honestly, from the cheers and the roars that we hear. So thanks for joining us, guys. A quick reminder, since you did come into this matchup a little bit late, we're watching ROOT.Drewbie taking on Fnatic Fenix. These guys in an epic TVT are tied 1 game apiece, and Fenix had some ridiculous aggression come out in game number 1 to end it in under 11 minutes, and then our second game went a little bit longer, but ROOT.Drewbie, not wanting to get caught in the same sort of situations that he got caught in game number 1, decided to go for that quick tank, marine, stim, even threw out a couple of banshees to do some harassment and just kind of picked apart Fenix. So definitely equal players on equal footing right now, and this will ultimately decide you know, who will win.
So Drewbie, now that we're talking to the main crowd and I can actually hear that roar, are there any fans of ROOT.Drewbie out there today? Drewbie, of course, a longtime MLG competitor, always having a very, very high seed, regularly one of the top-ranked players here at MLG. And, of course, are there any FnaticFenix fans out there? People just love the aggressive flair that Fenix always shows, and it's always really interesting because consistently at those international competitions, it's always surprising to see people from all over Europe and the Americas, and they all speak English, but Fenix is one of those players who, you know, he can't actually speak English very well, so it can seem hard to communicate with him, but it's so cool to see him sit down and play this game and still get the chance to showcase his personality so well with that brilliant aggressive timing.
Yeah, and you know what, when you say brilliant aggressive timing, because there are a lot of players that are aggressive, but I normally feel like Fenix is a very smart, aggressive player. Yeah, sure, he's been known to overextend himself, as any Starcraft player has done in the past. I mean, you must lose games sometimes, but he has a consistent success with his aggression, and it's just kind of nice to see. It's one of the things that has helped evolve the T versus T matchup and just the way players play Terran in general.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always see Fenix go for something like 4 Marines sneaking around the back, or a small drop while he's doing a huge push. It's a very careful aggression, but it's very consistent. And that little hum of units constantly buzzing in your ear is enough to slowly make even the best of players fall apart. We see Fenix positioning that Marine well, repelling this one scouting SCV, and it looks like Drewbie is going to once again go for the very fast Reaper play, will likely be expanding shortly.
Yeah, well, this is exactly what we saw out of Drewbie in the first game. Reactor going out for Fenix right away. He is going to go ahead and scout the wrong position in the northwest. And in another match, with it, that was a TVT on Fenix, we saw him do a really, as Idris says, cute thing, where he actually took the SCV through the back of his opponent's base and literally just kind of scooted by that Marine. Now, he still lost the SCV, but he managed to get into that base, not being stopped at the ramp, and got full disclosure on what was going on. A little trick that we've been seeing more often now. And
it looks like Drewbie more than prepared to combat that trick, sending his own Reaper around the backside. But see? I always love when players just get how the map works. Look at Fenix rallying these Marines to the back, and what does he have at the front defending? Well, an SCV just checking out what could potentially be coming.
And that SCV is going to push forward, but there's that Marine. He's going to decide to go in anyway, and Drewbie was not paying attention, so the SCV will get a little running head start here on his opponent. He's going to see the factory, he's going to see the add-ons, the reactor on the barracks, and of course the tech lab. On the factory, it's going to go on through and just basically get every kind of a piece of information that he needs right there. Meanwhile, the Reaper going in does take out the SCV that was building the command center. Fenix was not able to stop that, so we'll have to send another SCV here from the main to complete that.
We see the same opening out of Drewbie again, making the Hellions, but he hasn't begun researching Blue Flame. There it does go down. Both players doing the identical openings they did in Game 1. Fenix now beginning to move out with a bunch of Marines, but only to take this Watchtower. Does he have any unit there to do spotting? This could be a real dangerous play. He picks off the Reaper. This could potentially give Fenix a little bit of false confidence. He's going to move forward, and if he ends up pressing, this one Hellion will rip this attack apart, but there comes Fenix with the double Hellion backup.
And he's got to move back. He already loses one Marine. Hellion does extend itself out, and his Hellions from Phoenix trying to get in there, get a couple nice shots off on the Marines. The Hellion is microed back. He gets another huge shot, and this could end up just like game number 1, as now we see Phoenix moving forward. 2 more Marines going to join into the pack, and now that the Hellion from Phoenix does go down, Drewbie will be able to sigh a breath of relief. He'll repair those Hellions up as well. He gets another one out, and that was with the Blue Flame not activated. So very similar to last time, had the skirmish, and then the next time that skirmish happened, Blue Flame was in full effect.
We do see the orbital command now finishing up for Fenix. Fenix going to continue to build these Hellions 2 at a time just to continue to get a little bit of map control, and now we'll return to the usual mixture of Terran structures, the double barracks reactor, the factory with the tech lab, and the starport with the tech lab. The question is, can this push by Drewbie deal enough damage? Oh! Blue Flame finishes just in time. Fenix is going to have almost nothing to defend.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. In fact, if Drewbie just decides to go all the way in, we got a bunker in production right now, but these Blue Flame Hellions will be able to march in here, and there will be nothing but a few Marines to be able to stop. Oh, hello! The Banshee will help out quite a bit, as it does pop out, deciding not to go to his opponent's base, so Drewbie doesn't want to lose those units. He's already lost a single Hellion, and although it looked like the window was wide open and he was just going to cat burglar his way into Phoenix's base, it was stopped by that Banshee.
Now, at this point in time, I would say the most important question for Drewbie is, what is he going to transition into? It looks like he's going to be going for standard Marine tank play. He's getting siege mode, he's building more tanks. He's getting this medevac to try to do a sneaky drop in Phoenix's main, but I don't know if Drewbie did enough damage. We see out of Phoenix, oh, it looks like, oh, the Banshee just got picked off at that backside.
It was just
Drewbie
bad control.
just shut that push down.
Yeah, oh, but here comes the medevac full with 4 Blue Flame Hellions. Now, is he going to come within? Oh, yeah, he gets full vision of that. Phoenix is going to see vision of this dropping into his main. He is reacting by bringing back the tank and only a couple of Marines, but he could do a lot. Oh, the SCV's already running away. They're all bunched up. Oh, huge devastation as the second hit's going to happen as well. The tank will kill a lot of those, and the Marines will come out to save the day. But if we look at the workers killed, we see that it is up to 10 for ROOT.Drewbie. That is going to put the income at 30 for Phoenix, 30 harvesters for Phoenix, and 40 for Drewbie.
And now Drewbie is getting 2 tech labs to get his stim and combat shield started right away. Phoenix having disorganization on those factories in his base. And interestingly, going to be going for a mech mixture, going for the tank Blue Flame Hellion. Very excited to see how this match is going to turn out now. This was Phoenix's map choice, and it looks like that mech that so many Terran players have been talking about will be seen today.
Yeah, and I'm really curious on how exactly it's going to work out. I mean, we see coming out of here all Marines with the 2 tech labs for the upgrades there on the barracks for Drewbie. The tanks are going to be the, the interesting thing as well. He's already getting out a lot of Blue Flame, starting to put them down at the front. And even though he did get it much later than Drewbie, he's going to kind of stick to this mech-based play. And look, he's got his own Blue Flame Hellion drop going over. He wants to give Drewbie a taste of his own medicine. Now, look that a sensor tower has gone down, but there is a little gap that he can fly right past there. It would not be identified and could end up going right into the middle. But, oh, Drewbie with his own medevac. Oh, they're going to kiss.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, get me out of here. Phoenix is now going to pull back and just kill off the Marines with ease. Oh, Drewbie. Oh, he's doing all right now. And there, he's finally killing it off. Looks like Drewbie just had to alt-tab, put on the correct music track, and now he's back into the game. Now, it looks like Fenix, this is very uncharacteristic Fenix play. It looks like Drewbie has gone home early, took the afternoon off with those SCVs. He's going to try to find somewhere to break in, but actually Fenix apparently is well aware of how Drewbie would react. He's just going to force all of those SCVs to get pulled off mining for a bit of time while he tries to poke at the front.
Now, there was a Viking out earlier that was dealing with, maybe I'm just full of it. I don't know, but I think that there was one out. Anyway, we've got Fenix now moving around through the back. The SCVs just came down. Oh my God, no, don't do it. One goes down, and SCVs are going down left and right. Phoenix is going to take a huge lead right here, despite the fact that the siege tank near the mineral line is doing a lot of damage. SCVs will spread out and go on hold position to minimize the losses. However, look at that, the workers killed. It is now up to 15 To 10 for Phoenix, in favor of Phoenix and Drewbie.
Drewbie still is not ahead in the food anymore. It is about dead even, but Drewbie did sneak in this top left command center. Sneaking expansions with Terran, very effective because of how potent those mules are at dealing damage. Now we see Phoenix continuing to mass up a lot of tanks, has a bunch of Blue Flame Hellions. Very cool mech mixture coming out of Phoenix.
And, I mean, look at the setup here for Drewbie. Obviously, some sort of frontal assault could be a little risky, but with the Blue Flame able to get rid of all those Marines, and he's got quite a few of them, you know, especially if he decides to break through the bottom side, he could do it, but I'm not. There is the scan. He's going to try to move those units out of position. He's also got this high ground siege tank over here. The bunker is up, and he is going to possibly move out, and Phoenix is going to go ahead and siege up at the tower with vision. He's going to get a free hit right there. We may see a scan from Drewbie or some. There we go. We're just going to see one stim Marine to see what is going on there, and he'll immediately turn around when he sees there's a siege line there from Phoenix.
Uh-oh, we see a bunch of Hellions trying to move all along this backside. Doesn't need to do a drop, just going to go straight into the back, but Drewbie has more than enough there to prepare for it. Let's see if Phoenix notices. Ooh, little bit of a misclick there by Phoenix. Lucky to have only lost one Hellion.
Meanwhile, we're going to see Medevac, I believe, was dropping some Marines, or did pick up some Marines. Sometimes we see them drop right on top of those tanks to try to get them to siege themselves. And we do have those Hellions going back out. Looks like all of them were lost, as only a few Marines have to lose their lives in order to take care of that. There's a Viking now patrolling on the bottom south side of the map, so Drewbie does have those Vikings out and preparing for that. These Blue Flame Hellions, though, look like, what are they gonna do? Just take vision here. Maybe get a scout up to that northwest base, because certainly that's going to be helping out Drewbie a ton in this matchup.
And Drewbie is going to get the chance to spot those Blue Flame Hellions, but I think that Drewbie is a little disappointed that they're going to see his intentions too. Those Blue Flame Hellions now up to 26 damage against light. Now it means that Drewbie is trying to find a good spot where he can try to pierce in here, do a little bit of damage, but Phoenix with the Viking is going to do the run and shoot micro. And keep in mind, Blue Flame Hellions pretty good against Marines.
Yeah, that was out of the pot and into the fire right there. It's like, well, either the medevac goes down or we die to the Blue Flames. Which one do you want, boys? And SCV did make it up here to the northwest expansion. Immediately we're going to see the Hellions moving on. There's absolutely no defense for all the mules, and SCVs are here, so that will be a big hit. We are going to see Drewbie moving out now, and we got more Hellions making their way in. There is one siege tank at the front, but he's going to be sneaking in here. Huge concentration. Oh, but he loses control. He could have gone right for the mineral line. He does manage to take out all the SCVs at the northwest expansion, but we've got Drewbie now going in for a possible attack.
Looks like there is a little bit of a dangerous unsiege there by FnaticFenix, but we're seeing ROOT.Drewbie continue to pull around the tank Marine army so strong. If he can get that into one of FnaticFenix's weak point, he can do a lot of damage, but attacking at a very awkward angle, and there's the scan by Phoenix to get the good position, and all those Marines are quite vulnerable.
Oh yeah, in fact, when he saw his opponent on the retreat, Phoenix went ahead and went forward with his Blue Flames to try to soften up those Marines. He did do a good job with that. We're going to have one Marine stimming forward, making sure that he's still there in that position, and note that that command center is going to have to come all the way back home. Marine is sitting there, so he will spot it if it does come in, and there's a lot of SCVs moving over. This Marine just going to start doing some damage. We got a drop in the main of Phoenix.
Looks like he is stimming, getting a good concave against those Blue Flame Hellions, but with the siege tanks arriving to the scene, Drewbie would be wise to pull back. In the meantime, it looks like Drewbie trying to do a push along this side, stimming, going for it, picking off the Blue Flame Hellions. Phoenix's tanks not sieged up, picking them off the drop, getting cleaned up in the main as well. Drewbie has broken through this defensive line. A lot of Phoenix's key locations are very vulnerable. These Marines getting some extra kills. It is looking suddenly very good for Drewbie.